there's a small lead, a small development that's being reported by one of the local TV stations that received one of the ransom notes that Savannah Guthrie stated they believed to have been real. And they were reporting that on February 11th, either Nancy and the FBI put a small amount of money in that Bitcoin account along with a message they were ready to talk. So clearly they were responding to one of those notes. And after February 11th, the station is now reporting that everything has gone silent. There was no further communication indicating that something tragic might have happened at that point.
Does that lend any credibility to the fact that whoever was sending that request, I know that Savannah Guthrie said she believed that it was a legitimate ransom note. But does anybody else, do authorities believe, does the FBI believe it was legitimate? And does that indicate it might have been?
Yes, I think that it was in fact the FBI that probably, I should say probably, but sources are that there was some belief among law enforcement that that note was legitimate, and therefore that's why they responded to it. But I think, sadly, that by the time they responded, something had happened because they never came back with any more messages.
The sheriff, in the meantime, has found himself in more hot water. He was due to submit some answers to a probe. This is about his application to work in Pima County's Sheriff's Department decades ago. But there was some evidence that he had lied in his application about his work experience. What's happening with that investigation into him, and might he be ousted?
Well, it wasn't just that he had lied about his work experience. There was a recent lawsuit in which he was under oath where he lied about his work experience. He also is being sort of raked over the coals here, certainly by local media and also some national media, about the fact that he actually beat up a suspect who was handcuffed, and that suspect had to be taken to the hospital. And he also is being, and he was suspended for 15 days following that incident. There was also a suspension related to him lying about having stopped someone when they finally saw the footage that he had in fact stopped that person. And he got suspended for that, and also for using vile language towards a woman during his working hours. So there's a lot of things piling up against him. What we're waiting for is today he is answering a bunch of questions asked by the Board of Supervisors pursuant to a deal that they've struck. And we're waiting to hear what those answers are. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have more on that. The board meeting is still ongoing, but we have a very good source who's prepared on our show before, on your show before, to come on with us and explain what Sheriff Nanos had to say about those allegations of perjury and other things.
It's worth noting all those allegations of behavior, which is unbelievable, they all happened, they're not recent, correct?
Well, as far as we know, these were suspensions. I mean, since he's come to Pima County, we don't know what goes on, but he's moved up through the ranks, and he's
right,
the sheriff
but
now.
Those allegations, yes, those were all decades ago. But as you point out, we don't know what might have happened in this time. It's just hard to believe that somebody like this is the sheriff of Pima County with a history like that, which I guess is why the Board of Supervisors is taking this all so seriously. And again, no indication that, at this point in time, 80 days later, that removing him is going to make any difference on the case. Listen, you have covered so many cases like this also for decades. And in your new book, you're taking us behind the scenes of these major criminal cases that you've covered and the role that the media plays in them. You're also disclosing a lot of pretty high-profile information about these cases.
That's right. I'm telling you information that nobody will tell you. You've covered cases like this. Actually, we covered one together. There are 4 cases in the book, and I'm taking you behind the curtain and then behind that curtain where you're going to get to see what really goes on. The first case is the Holly Bobo case, which we actually did together when we were at ABC. And during that case, I had a chance to talk to that family about the 3 years they waited for their daughter, Holly Bobo, to be found after she had been abducted, raped, and ultimately murdered, which we found out when her body was found, or her remains. So in that, they were besieged by charlatans and people pretending to be wanting to help them. And when I spoke to the family long before the trial occurred, Karen Bobo told me that she was about to go on, and this woman was advising her and helping look for Holly through the media, using the media. And the woman said to her, you should not wear that black. You should wear blue. It makes you look less guilty.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.